back to the organizational development theme of the Community Educational Program, CEP, this month, February. We used to talk about the leadership approach with leader-centric, which is trait theory, some characteristic that people believe that someone is intelligent and charismatic is automatically mean that they should be a leader. But scientifically, we're not sure about that. Different approach, different organization, different style, different context will require different leadership approach and style and theories. And we believe that the same thing with management, general speaking. So during this time, we talk about management study with the manager-centric viewpoint, which is I bring it out here with the major questions. Who is the manager? How do you define the manager? The roles, the responsibility, the tactics, the function of manager. This is some kind of illustration of the hierarchy model. It's not collectively right with information up here, but when you go through some kind of principle and study, you will see some familiar idea that articulates some kind of information supposition. When we talk about management, where the critical way different with leadership is management is about top down, about a pyramid, about a hierarchy. Top manager make order to middle manager, and middle manager make order to first line manager, the first line manager make order to different lower level manager or than employee. So that is the only precise thing of this pyramid that we can think. That is, we have top down decision making and responsibility process. But how it's go and how we define it, we gotta go through some kind of material in here. We use some kind of the open source of the study. And you can find out, you can Google it, it's pretty open access for now. They call it principle management, a collective, some kind of general idea of management. And remember, this book is still free until the end of this year, so take time to read through it. You understand some general concept management, and you can see up here, per chapters, or we go through some really logical, personal way of approaching things that we approach with the manager-centric, personal-centric, who is manager, who is employee, what is organization, the kind of way. It's a classical way, but doesn't mean that it's the only way. So the first chapter we talk about manager, we talk about leadership, entrepreneurship, and strategy, which is some extending viewpoint of management, and some planning, organizing, leading, and controlling, which is the four core function of management. Looking through some kind of context in performance evaluation, which we already go through in other course. Of course, we go through some practical principle. And then the next chapters, going through some kind of psychological approach, personality, attitude, behavior, background. This historical viewpoint is the only thing if we go some kind of academic approach of this theory, or you want to be seriously research about management theory. If you don't, it's fine. It's just some history lesson. Yeah, chapter 4, chapter 5, we talk about some kind of clear approach for different layer of manager. You're going to see it later in this material. Vision, mission, values, strategy, goals, objective, organizational function, and then we go down to organizational development approach. This is cultural, networking, leading people, making decision, motivating, and all kind of modern theory so far. But you want to go through modern theory, you got to go understand the background first, which is we need help today. Take time to read this book. I mean, if you go through all this book, you basically have some idea what is management. All right, so this objective of today is to answer 3 questions. What does it mean a manager? Definition. What type of different manager? And what the work of manager doing? If you call yourself, you have selected a position of manager, you don't do the management work. You basically is not manager. You just have that title. You don't know how this works. That are different. And you would be, removed by other people or other type of work that really understand the core principle of management. So it's not about position make you become manager. It's about what you work and what responsibility, what function you take to make you become manager. Same thing with leadership. It's not about a title make you a leader. It's about what you do, what you influence other, how the follower interact with you, how you deal with challenge, make you become leaders. That's why they call it twist. So the position can change, but the work function is not. When you finish off this function, you become the manager or leader per se. Okay, so we go through definition manager. I do some highlight here. When we talk about manager, we start with a position, but then we go more into their role and responsibility, which is the realistically thing who decide that you got to be a manager or not, or we should remove you or not. All right. And traditional approach always about hierarchy, or a pyramid, the top and the bottom. But modern approach, we'll talk about more empowerment, which is a process you let other people outside manager, could be middle manager, could be employee, to in charge of their own way of thinking, behave, and take action with autonomously, which is, well, a modern approach, but pretty challenging when you give the people with narrow viewpoint and ability, expertise, a vast power of making decision. It's dangerous, but let's see how it's go. All right. So with the traditional or contemporary views of management, it'll break down in 4 major different type, or 7 major, but basically is a hierarchy. Always have people at the top who in charge of strategy, vision, and mission. They're not normally dealing directly with employees. We're more directly dealing with the middle manager. So that is the manager of the manager. We'll make sure that the big picture will be articulated and break down into goals and indicators that they can control. Second set, that's a functional, right? A functional team in general. So functional manager, who is someone in charge of separate function and make sure that function effectively, which is accounting, marketing, finance, legal, sale, okay, that is function. Third one is supervisory or team manager, just take you the name. It just manage the small teams in their under their hand. Scientifically, a good manager manage 11 individual that can keep you strong connection. You understand that, remember the name. You remember their behavior, their characteristic. You understand their story. You really know their strengths and weaknesses that you can remember it. You don't need to read they need an assistant to read through the profile to recall the memory. So how about 20? How about 2000s? Yeah, you got to break to a small organization, small teams or subgroups, or what they call it here. And each of small team of 11 to 12, we're leading by one manager, which is team manager. All right. Another one, the general one, is a line manager. Line manager is more like directly into the product and service, because this management theory normally is based on the business approach. Leadership theory is based on more politics and military and religion, or something broader spectrum. It's not covered by the social exchange. So when we talk about line manager, we talk about product centric. You can call product manager or service manager the same thing. I have a sample here, the PNG, have a tire detergent. You got to decide how you make that product, how you put it on a package, and how you sell it to people. Another type is indirectly input into the product that is called staff manager. So staff manager, like a support, like working on the staff thing, like finance, accounting, packaging. Do not directly create the final product, but support to complete the final products. So the staff manager and line manager or product manager always stay together like a team under the supervised of general manager. Project manager then also the new way of breaking down the big organization to the smaller project base. So I have 10 projects, so you need 10 project manager. Ideologically, that each manager have a special skill set, expertise for leading their team toward that project. For example, marketing project, sales project, legal project, all kind of research project, environmental project. They got to require manager a different skill. And the process is a planning about project. 20 step, 25 step, finish in 6 months, time and step, right? And you need 20 people. So it means that need staff or human resource. And then you execute it, is what just mean that, all right, so we do 5 steps in the first 2 weeks, next 5 steps in the next 2 weeks. And the next 5 steps in the week of 8, for example. And in the week of 20, we're closing a project with the outcome. That's how it works. And the different function we see up here: architecture, consulting, computer networking. General manager, who's someone who's making decision in across different functions. So they don't base on the function; they based on the collaboration and supportive of different functions. So and they take direction from the top executive. So, for example, come back to P&G. The CEO of P&G saw that they got to make a new type product with a new name, with a new function, with a new smell, for example. How to make it work? How to make that work? They sit down together with different manager, R&D manager, who will decide how the function of new product will look like and how smell is going to be special. Branding, I'll make sure how the packaging and color look cool. Product manager, how to make sure that from the factory to the customer, how the staff will look like at a certain time. And the different financing, accounting, gonna sit out there to make sure the price look nice. Marketing, make sure that customer can reach out the information, the new product. So 7 managers sitting out there, and general manager make this final decision to make sure all of that 7 ideas that plug in the right time are gonna go. So, but the general manager, they make sure it vast general roles and make sure different goal, different function coming in, and they set out the specific goal to make sure that 7 function or 7 team do their work, that visualize the vision or strategy or the mission of the top manager. So that's why general manager is not a top manager. The top manager will not set a specific goals or each department, and don't really work directly with the staff like other middle manager or the first line manager. We see that in that hierarchy illusion, the slide. Here we go. That's how it look traditionally on the left side. Top manager to make sure that competitiveness, and lower manager does their job. So basically, top manager is a manager of the manager. To make sure the organization look healthy and prospective. Middle manager, what they call lower manager, go to work directly with employees and make sure that the strategy from the top effective and generate to them, and make sure that all the employees working and the peer be loyalty and obedience all of the order of the top manager. That's the model hierarchy. So now contemporary, they try to flip the hierarchy, that at the top manager will be empowered to lower manager and an employee to responsibility for the organization competitiveness and their own development, which is I don't think it's doable now today. When you know that it's not about a position, make lower manager name lower. You're in a lower hierarchy. It means that you just see a small part of the organization. You're a small piece, the big picture. You cannot see the whole things. And you just work with a small group of people. You just access to a small resort of the organization. You're a small organ in the big body. How can you make the decision for the big body when you're a small part of that, right? This figure cannot decide how this body works, right? So that is some kind of criticize for this model that they try to make it, and I don't think it's work. Because now today we still see the CEO is still the one who make the final decision. President is still the one who make a final decision, not a group of vice president and advisor and head of department. No, they don't. They just more like provide suggestion and feedback. So provide more information for the final decision. Then they make the decision themselves. That's a different distribution of power in the organization, which is weaknesses of that's empowerment theories. You don't understand the construct of power. You cannot empower people, and you cannot empower employee to make decision for the whole company. You can listen to their suggestion, but they just know about their small part of work, how they can make decision for legal terms or for management, for merger and acquisition, and all kind of different function that hopefully they can know it, but it takes a lot of time to make sure 5,000 employees have enough knowledge and expertise and experience as the CEO of the company. That's a challenge. I mean, we can go through it, but in a bigger function, well, it have a long time to go through that gap. And of course, when the top down empower to people underneath of them, the people underneath could feel that they have fully support for the top management, and they can ensure the employability. This means ensure the job. Okay, the top manager are going to tell you that, okay, you are the key person of this company. We make sure you have the job. Just do it. Do the thing that the best for you, which is going to be the best for the organization too. That is the contemporary approach of management, flipping up hierarchy, which is, well, a little bit dangerous of change. I don't see any much of the case that's successful doing this, but let's see how it go with a different function. Okay, so the first part, we understand hierarchy and understand different roles. Second, we need to know about the nature of that work. We come back with some key idea: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Really basic. That's why we call it nature principle. Planning, write out 20 steps. Organizing, prioritize which one do first, which one do later, which one do in the morning, which one in the afternoon, because we have limited time and space. Leading, make sure people do it. Controlling, make sure the process good, the input good, the people feel good, and the outcome is good as an expectation. That's it. Because we have the limited human, financial, and material resource. If we have unlimited everything, well, it's simple. Do whatever you want. We have unlimited resource. But now we just have 5 guys and just have $500,000. Okay? We just have one office with 5 computers. Make that work. That'll be a different story. All right. And then we go through some kind of the study of management, which is we have here Henry Mintzberg, one of the most prominent sociologists and psychologists in this time who do study about management. And he go through some kind of exploratory and observatory study about relationship between top manager, the CEO, or the owner company, to the other middle manager, could be the head of factory, could be the line manager, and the employee, factory worker, something like that. During the chain of technology and information, even we see now today the AI and the video call or the quick way to access of the information flow in a company like Asana, we're using a lot. It's just a new technology and information, basically. And you just twist it together. It make the employee and other manager access information faster and feedback faster, but it doesn't change the core principle of how that outcome and the outsider external factor impact into the relationship between the manager, top manager, to middle manager, to the frontline manager, and to the employee. So throughout the study 50 years ago, they see that the function to manager to meet the demand of the work and perform the function, they need to play multiple roles, which is a start of a roles theory, which is pretty interesting theory. And with the Mintzberg define, role is just an organized set of behavior, which is an easier way to categorize the behavior. Behavior theory in psychology is really prominent approach, which is we see that a different behave, and we try to read through that behave to understand how the outcome it is. And now, for example, when you're doing through some kind of test, a huge test like Mintzberg doing, you can find out manager, they have 25 roles, 25 behaviors, sorry. So with 25 behavior, how we test the whole 25 behavior and make people understand it? Well, it's hard. How about the next time we test it, go with 75 behavior? What you got to do? So the way we do it is we categorize that 25 behavior example into 4 categories, and the 5 categories. And that 5 categories is called role. The role theory is just the way that one role will have set of different behavior, be well accepted by the general understanding or by the definition of the researcher. Basically, that's how the role theory is going on. For example, the role of the teacher. What is the role of teacher? First, understand the knowledge, acquire the knowledge. Second, interpret it and transfer it to a student. And 3, make sure a student understand it by test evaluation. And 4, then inspire student to expand the horizon of mind and generate a new knowledge. So I have 4 behavior, and that 4 behavior define what a teacher role is. For example, coaching and other kind of role will be the same thing. So that basically is definition. So Misberg define have 10 roles, work with all manager. So we see that the similarity of top manager, middle manager, 10 roles. And these 10 roles define 3 groups: interpersonal, informational, decisional. Of course, we see the name of it, informational, dealing with the information connection. Interperson is make sure that the information and people be well connected. And the decision is to make sure that information could be used for something, action, or decision, or choice. So that, and the different layer and performance of manager could be perform those 10 roles in different times and different degree, depends on their function. And of course, it's not really a heavily scientific course, so we will not go break down this idea. But this, the role theory, is something you can consider this thing and you're playing your role. The 3, here is the model that 3 type of roles with 10 small role in here. So we break it down first. In the figurehead role is here, interpersonal. The manager represents organization in all matters of humanity. Is that a figurehead? So you are the CEO. You represent this organization, right? It represents legally and socially outside. And then you become a leader, who leading people to work. When you have your leader role, you find relationship, right? Let's talk about leader. It's about leadership, but a relationship, which is something cover this idea. Let's call liaison. Position is about to make sure that the peers and people outside organization have connected. You know, make sure that the customer and the staff manager and the employee, everybody, understand the idea of each other. Customers say, okay, the packaging is great. So the packaging or the brand manager will be know that, okay, they said that they like our product. Good. Keep doing it. All right. And the staff manager and the brand manager coming back to their team and say, you guys are doing a great job. Customer like it. How do you know? Well, I read the report. That's how it works. So this is the interpersonal. Make sure that who in charge, who do what, and how people connect to each other. That is the whole terms of interpersonal. Second, you have the informational. Informational, it's just about the way we deliver information, and it also drive the modern theories of management and organizational development into the communication heavily and informational development or management heavily, because information is a new resource. When you have information and how to solve that information and how to deliver it information to the target audience, you really decided who you are and decided the effective of your work or delivery your value. So information, we have 3 positions: monitor, disseminator, and spokesperson. Monitor, we talk about the receive and collect information, which is obvious. We need to collect information, right? From the outsider, from the top manager, from the peer, and from the employee on the feedback evaluation report. That's how this come from. Disseminator, the manager transfers the special information into the organization, which is the same thing when we come back with the example that the customers say, all right, this type product is great, P&G, right? The top manager hear that from the marketing, right? The marketing and the marketing team, marketing manager, they do some feedback, collect survey, what you can see in the receipt. People keep asking you, doing survey, customer satisfactions first survey. They said, okay, this product is great. Marketing manager submit it to the CEO. CEO say, okay, it's great. Let the R&D, let the branding, let the product manager know that, okay, you are doing a great job. That how you deliver the information in that. And because the information is not that clear and easy, because the information evaluation is always complex. And because when you want to know what people feel, the whole customer experience, it's not only about the branding and the outlook, also about the quality, about the pricing, about accessible, about the expectation, what you want more, what you want cheaper, do you want it smarter, what you want it smell better, for example. That's why the discriminator could we break down that 5 different stream of information to a different 5 function. Which one go to R&D, which one go to sales, which one go to accounting, which one go into legal, which one go to product line, which one go into finance, for example. And of course, the last thing, the spokesperson could be working on the disseminate, which you release the information internal the organization to the environment. Well, the spokesperson. That's why sometimes I do interview, sometimes we opinion a manager answer some kind of interview or going showing on the show or TV, that how they release information outside. So now you can hear the top level manager is the industry expert. We represent the whole industry, understand the whole term. Why supervisor, middle manager is just a unit and department expert. So when you are marketing manager, yeah, you will not answer something outside your scope. You cannot answer something related to finance and human resource or R&D. Don't pretend you know everything. Nobody know everything. Even the top manager, they just know some sort of a little bit of everything. But that is their job, to make sure that have a little bit of everything to make sure the big picture be well organized. Okay. Decision making is important. They have 4 roles, you remember out here. First, entrepreneur, which is initiate change. Yeah. Second, there's nothing argue about that. Entrepreneurs, that term, it's about change and innovation. That is, sometimes your company P&G already the biggest, but the new rival and competitors showing up. You need to change the idea. And with a disturbance and the role that the manager would deal with the threat of the organization. The threat could be external, like competitors. For example, the company Hammer, for example, released a new detergent that threat out of Tide detergent. How the manager gonna do? Gotta collect that information, see that what the competitive advantage of the competitors and what we should do about that to handle the issue. Or might be some internal threats. Could be that too much people quit, some middle managers dysfunction. How do you deal with that? That is a role of the disturbance handler. Third one is the resource allocator. Yeah, of course, we have limited resource. How do you deliver it to the people who need? Employee need the latest salary, compensation, benefit. Middle managers need the same thing, and staff and employees. And of course, a supportive resource of the company. Of course, the top manager need collect enough information to make the right decision. And then lastly, negotiator, who is negotiate behalf of organization. Like for example, the manager of marketing, the manager of marketing a different company to negotiate for a new campaign that you deal with. When you negotiate it, you represent as the whole organization for the whole organization benefit. That's how it works. Make something pretty clear up here that the top manager make decision about organization as a whole, and the supervision make decision as a particular unit. That's why the challenge for the empowerment theory of flipping of the hierarchy, which is say, well, how you just have the limited responsibility and expertise can in charge for the whole competitiveness of the whole organization. How do you do it? Even I give you the permission to do that. How do you do it right? Pretty challenging. Here we talk about a little bit about the middle manager, like supervisor, dealing with a little bit of short terms. That's why they do more about handling of the challenge, which is the disturbance handlers, and no negotiators than the vision and mission and strategy. In the end, we talk about some kind of important about management, which is we already know. Here we go, key takeaway. We talk about manager basically responsibility to get the things done throughout other leaders to influence followers to get the things done. So it's just a little bit of the definition between manager and leaders up there. And we talk about the key function that is planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. There's no argument about that. We just, with the modern theory, we adding more approach and open and some complexity terms of this field. But basically, it still go through this thought process, and we have some fear that the artificial intelligence and machine will replace us I think they can replace, but the only thing can replace is planning, organizing, and controlling. But those things is based on the rational evaluations and indicators and collecting data, analysis, and organize, which we can quantify by the machine. But leading is something more about emotion, about motivation, about human nature, which is robotic cannot replace it. Even we see that a lot of our behavior is be controlled and driven by the machine. But in general speaking, it's hard to formalize that the machine can leading us to the somewhere. Okay, we talk about definition and change over time. Yeah, of course, due to the different understanding of psychologically and sociology. At the hierarchy, they try to upside down the hierarchy, which is I don't recommend. And we talk about 10 roles. That's a key idea. This is a 5 exercise that we can question ourselves when you are a manager. Are you looking for a manager? Question yourself. What you are looking for, right? Looking for why your organization need a manager. Why you need it? Because organization is a group of different individuals with different ability, different skill, different goals, and they try to come up with the same goal, same direction, with the same manner, with orderly and within the limited resource. How do we do it? Well, to go through the manager who have ability to planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. That's how it's worked. We live in chaos. Manager coming in and make it formalized. Second was some type of manager and how they differ always in hierarchy. So always have a top one, make it working on the most abstract, biggest picture, strategy, vision, mission, manager of the manager. The middle one could be big. It could be calling a function. We break it to a function, working with a special separate expertise because not much of people good at everything. Majority of us, which is good at something, that's what the idea of a specialist. Middle manager, what a different function. And in charge different team, which is supervisory and team management. And of course, in charge different line of product, which is a product manager or line manager. In charge of different supported action like staff manager. And that's something when you have too much of little detail and complicated function, we have something called cross-function manager. What is it? A general manager who in charge to make sure the decision of a top manager be articulated and everybody understand what a big goal, what a small goal, and how we make it. Third, what the Minsberg 10 managerial roles. Well, I don't good at remember, so we just break it down with the question 4, 3 areas, which is first, interpersonal, connect person to person, manager to middle manager to employee, and to the outsider with the customer and target customer, target audience. Second, informational area, which is make sure everybody inside connected together and connect the organization as a whole with outsider. Third, decisional, with who is to make sure information you consume get some result. This is the decision, choice, and value. And of course, number 5, for general managerial function. Everybody go through the management studies should know 4 general functions always planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. They can change the term, but the behavior is the same. That pretty much is. Looking forward to you guys different course. Thank you.